to real. It's real to real. It's real to real. It's real to real.
And welcome to Real, your Bay Area entertainment show about everything entertainment, including movies.
Primarily movies.
And I'm Derek.
Leonard.
Everyone's talking about the Oscars, and tonight we're going to be talking about Oscars too.
Seems like there's always Oscar buzz.
Always Oscar buzz.
There's usually in January, February, there's Oscar buzz about
the announcements
year coming.
came out in
The
January.
announcements come out in January, right?
And
right.
So if you were to actually pick your favorite movie of the year, so not necessarily an Oscar-nominated film.
Not what I think will win, but what I would pick.
Yeah.
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
Why?
Christopher Nolan. I think that the movie it's a complex movie. It's visually just incredible. The acting is dead on. The direction is dead on. But it's one that you leave the theater and weeks later you're still thinking about it. You're still putting pieces together, and to me that's a good movie.
I know over the years that we've always argued about movies, we've had opinions about movies, we sometimes don't agree about movies, which is most of the time. But I would have to agree with you that it was complicated, visually stunning.
No, I didn't say complicated, it's like complex.
But I didn't think about this movie after I left the movie theater, sorry.
Well, that's because you probably slept through it. It's a good 3 hours.
I did not
it's
sleep
like a puzzle.
through this movie.
Oh, really?
That's one movie I did not sleep through, because I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Well, it was a puzzle. You had to put it together, and it takes more than those 3 hours. It takes reflection and afterthought to truly find the depth of that. In fact, it's a movie for me. Even though it's 3 hours, I will end up watching it again and again. But
my thought in the movie is watching the movie and then I go. So I mean, it's like I don't,
You're purely for the entertainment
I'm
value.
purely for the entertainment.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, why don't we take a look at the trailer of Interstellar?
Interstellar.
We used to look up in the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt.
Go for main engine start, T-minus 10.
We must confront the reality that nothing in our solar system can help us.
9,
I've got kids, Professor. How long would I be gone?
8,
I'm asking you to trust me.
7,
Murph, you have to talk to me, Murph.
6,
I need to fix this before I go.
You have no idea when you're coming back.
5, main engine start.
Couldn't you have told her you were going to save the world?
No.
4,
When you become a parent,
3,
one thing becomes really clear.
2,
And that's that you want to make sure your children feel safe.
1.
I'm coming back.
When?
I love you forever.
Potentially habitable worlds right within our reach.
Could save us from extinction.
Here we go.
You can't just think about your family. Now you have to think bigger than that.
I am thinking about my family and millions of other families.
Maybe we've spent too long trying to figure all this out with theory. Love is the one thing that transcends time and space.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
I'm not gonna make it!
Yes, you are.
We'll find a way. We always have.
Even from the trailer, it's complicated.
No, it's complex. Complicated and complex are a little different, but it's a multi-tiered movie. You've got to.
I'll give you that for Best Picture. That's your pick. But Matthew McConaughey stars in it, and Matthew McConaughey just recently got his star on the Walk of Fame. And
I bet that was fun to watch.
Well, why don't we take a clip and take a look at it?
Let's see that.
I got my name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There's a song in there somewhere. This is a great moment in my career and my life. I came out, as Don said, I didn't get an actor. Shoot, I only saw 2 or 3 films before I was 18 years old. And I got my first job in Austin, Texas on a film called Dazed and Confused. All right. Yeah, I got my first job there. Little did I know it turned out to be a career and something that I've learned to love, and I'm learning to love even more. This industry's given me a lot. It's given me a chance to live out some dreams I didn't even know I had. Dreams I'm still finding along the way. And what other business can you actually go live them out? But in this storytelling business that we're in, our greatest export, most original export we have out of our nation comes right out of here.
Now, obviously, Matthew McConaughey has had a great, run for the last couple of years.
He's had a resurgence.
Is he deserving of a star on the Walk of Fame?
Of course he is.
Of course?
I think all you got to do is buy one.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to tell people. Actually, the Walk of Fame is actually by the city of Hollywood, and you have to petition for it, and then people vote on it. And a few people who don't have a star on the Walk of Fame? And the stars have to agree to it, too. Brad Pitt doesn't, Robert De Niro does not, and Al Pacino does not. They're just not interested. I'm sure they've been on the nomination list.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So yeah, they have to approve it.
Seems like a little ego trip to me.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like why? Why would you have a star?
Oh, I thought you said, why would you not have a star?
Yeah.
And we'll be right back here watching Reel to Reel on KOFY TV 20.
Hi, I'm Chili Dilly, the personality pickle. Packed in a jar for the freshest flavor. Served cold in a sack for you to savor. So dainty to eat, no muss, no fuss. An ideal snack for all of us. Crisp, tender, and tasty with a bit of spice. Buy one now. Taste how nice. Snack bar clerks will knock themselves silly, speeding your order for a real Chili Dilly.
Orinda Theater Square. Think inside the square. Like us on Facebook for exclusive offers.
This is where I want to be, here with you, so close to me, till the final flicker of life's end.
Anyway, anywhere, anyhow, anything. Just ask me to, you want me to, you know you do.
And welcome back.
So you're going to ask me what my favorite movie of the year is?
I will. What was your favorite?
My favorite movie was St. Vincent.
St. Vincent with Bill Murray.
With Bill Murray and Melissa McCarthy. And most people think that movie would be a comedy with those two people leading. It is not. It's a very well-written script.
It has comedic moments. Every film with Bill Murray has a comedic moment or two in it. But you're right. It was a solid film.
And I think that's what it was. And what I was so passionate about it, I think it was a first-time director. He had only done a short film before. And the interesting thing with Bill Murray is he does not have an agent. He actually has an 800 number. You actually give him a call, you pitch him the idea, and if he calls you back, he's interested in your project. If not, you don't hear from him at all.
That's unique. It's probably problematic for directors and producers who want to reach him for a film. But
he's definitely going to be hard to work with, too.
I think he probably is, yeah. Have you seen him on the Pro-Am tours? I mean, where they do the stuff?
At Pebble Beach.
Yeah, he's got to be just... like a bag of cats or something to manage.
Well, let's take a look at, I think it'd be pleasantly surprised if you haven't seen the movie, go see it. It's St. Vincent, and this is with Bill Murray.
I want to close this account.
$112.14.
All right, small bills.
No, you're overdrawn that much.
What does that mean?
It means you hit zero. Here's zero. You went below zero.
Okay. This is my tree. You wrecked.
Stay here.
I'm calling the cops.
Is everything okay? I'm Maggie. I guess I'm your new neighbor.
So?
Well, we're moving in.
This is Oliver. You can lead us all in morning prayer.
I think I'm Jewish.
Good to know.
Sir?
Take me, God. Don't play with me.
I was wondering if I could use your phone.
My house? I can watch the kid after school. I can do $11 an hour. Let's go! Here's a dime. Call your mom.
Costs more than a dime.
All right, here. Costs more than that. Call collect.
You like him?
He's interesting. In a grouchy sort of way.
Hey, look, it's Oliver.
You need to defend yourself or you get mowed down. Get out.
I'm small, if you haven't noticed.
And so was Hitler.
That's a horrible comparison.
So how do you and Vincent know each other?
I'm working for this man. I'm also dancer.
Who is she?
A lady of the night.
Do you know what that means? She works at night?
Vin! What kind of a man takes a child to a bar and to the racetrack?
Who passed in your Cheerios?
Is there anything going on that we should be aware of?
Well, I don't want to take up all your time.
We have loads of time.
I'm gonna show you one thing. Do it right and break the guy's nose.
Break his nose?
Relax. You're not gonna get it right.
I don't like people. People don't like him. Except you. Why you like him?
A sage is a human being we celebrate for the sacrifices that they make, for their commitment to making the world a better place.
Why is he mowing your dirt patch?
I'm showing him how the world works. You work, you get paid, you drink.
Are you drinking alcohol?
I honestly don't remember.
And there's Bill Murray playing the lead role in St. Vincent, and I think he's a great actor. I mean, he's done
very versatile.
Come from the comedy side, and now Lost in Translation, nominated for an Oscar. And I think it's just he's someone that he picks the projects obviously of what he wants to do, and not just you got to do comedy, you got to do this. And St. Vincent's is a treat to see.
It is, and you had mentioned it before. You don't know going in what it's going to be, and you're pleasantly surprised when it's over that it was different than what you probably had anticipated.
It was so different for
agree.
me. And I mean, I think the script was very well. And I listened to an interview with Bill Murray, and he worked with the director to actually work on the script. And I think they did a phenomenal job. And Naomi Watts is in the movie. So before we break for a commercial, why don't we take a look at Naomi Watts talking about her role in St. Vincent.
Well, she's got her own struggles of a kind, and she's making ends meet. I just had a lot of fun creating this character in the preparation. It's always one of the fun parts of our job, and piecemealing together lots of different videos available on the internet, and listening to these women talk about the lives that they would like to have, and talking about their hobbies, and looking for a way out, so that's how I learned the dialect, as well as certain mannerisms.
Hey, Mom. Yes, you. Why fuss and fret about dinner? Why not have it right here? Yes, this drive-in offers everyone in the family a real picnic treat for dinner. We've got delicious sandwiches with all the trimmings and your other dinner favorites, plus whatever you want to drink, hot or cold. Come early before the show starts, or eat while you're being entertained, or at intermission time. So why fuss? Give your family a tasty dinner at this drive-in.
Rheem Theatre Square. Think inside the square. Like us on Facebook for exclusive offers.
This is where I want to be, here with you, so close to me, till the final flicker of life's end.
Anyway, anywhere, anyhow, anything. Just ask me. Just ask me to. You want me to. You know you do.
And welcome back to Reel to Reel. And our guest now is Jeff Ross from the San Francisco Indie Fest. You're the founder and director of the festival.
I am.
So why did you start the film festival 17 years ago?
That's right. So I started it in '98. Our first festival is in 1999. And at the time, I was just looking for a place to show independent American films, American indies. They didn't really have a venue for them in San Francisco.
Right.
The art house theaters are playing films from distributors. The only other game in town was the International Film Festival, and then these guys had to compete with the best films from around the world to get into that festival. So it was just, you know, it wasn't being done.
Right.
So there are other festivals like it in other cities. I modeled it after Slam Dance in Park City, which is sort of the second tier after Sundance. And the LA Independent Film Festival was a good model. There's one in New York called the New York Underground and the Chicago Underground. So it was sort of a bit of the Indiewood wave was taking off, you know, in the mid-90s, and this was part of that. And we just kind of kept going.
Right,
you know,
17 years. I mean, that's a long time to keep it going. And
so we started as a 4-day weekend. About 3,000 people came. It's much to my surprise.
Right.
And now we're 2 weeks on 2 screens in the city. We have a screening in Oakland, and
at the Parkway?
get about this year. We're actually going to be at a place called the Humanities Hall, which is the home of the Oakland Underground Festival, which takes place, I think, in the summer.
Okay.
So they have a nice little screening room there. And so yeah, so it's 2 weeks in February, and then the festival itself, Indie Fest, now is 3 festivals long.
Right.
So we do a documentary festival in the summertime, we do a horror sci-fi festival in the wintertime.
Right, that's another hole in the head?
Right.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
And yeah, that takes place now in December, but the February event coming up is our big one.
Okay.
You know, that's the biggest event that we do each year.
And you have several fundraiser events coming up that help support the festival.
So the thing about film festivals, and that makes it different than going to the movies just to go to the multiplex or even to go to an art house screening, is that it's, you know, it's very special event oriented. You know, it's a film that's going to play this one time or maybe 2 times in town, and then that's it.
Right.
You know, maybe next time you get this chance to see it, it'll be on, you know, Netflix or something. You know, so it's very specific to time and place. So my whole reason for getting up in the morning and going to work is because I like to create opportunities for people to have shared experiences.
Right.
So that is usually screenings, but we also do a lot of special events and parties and just keep the festival festive.
Parties are fun.
So from a submission standpoint, how many submissions usually do you receive?
I think this year it was almost 1,000, like 900 and some.
And then you only take?
And we're going to play, what was the numbers? I think it was 30 features and about 60 or 70 short, I think it's about 65 shorts.
Wow. And you have a selection committee.
Right, actually there's a team. So there's a team of programmers, there's 6 of them this year. And then beyond those guys, there's like a couple dozen, you know, people who pre-screen and watch films, because there's a lot of movies. A lot of time if you think about it. So yeah, so we spend most of the fall watching the films and then curating them and, you know, picking out things, and it's really hard. Like picking the films is really hard. That's why I don't do it anymore. I found other people who like doing that more than I do.
Right. Okay.
I like putting on the show.
Right.
So I'm the showman.
And the specific dates are February
5 through 18.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and again 2 weeks at the Roxy, and 1 week at the first weekend of February at the in Oakland at the Humanities Hall. The schedule is now on our website, sfindie.com, sfindie.com. With trailers and tickets and information about the parties and the special events.
Right.
Yeah, lots of stuff coming up.
There's 2 films, because I want you to pick one.
Two
films that you say is a must-see.
Okay, well the first one is probably the local, this great local film that we're having the world premiere of called The Other Barrio. So it's very traditional noir, you know, about murder, intrigue, and corruption and everything set in the Mission District of San Francisco. So of course it's a little political, and it's talking about the changes happening in the city to the people specifically in that neighborhood.
We're on a Mexican party bus in the Mission.
Didn't have to die, sir.
Love of Christ.
That one's really great. That's playing February 8th at the Brava Theatre, and which is actually featured in the film, the Brava Theatre, which is kind of neat. The Brava is on 24th Street. It used to be the old York movie house.
So there'll be a lot of local people there, and that's always
probably
a nice vibe.
Yeah. So that should be a great event.
And your second choice?
The second choice, there's this French film we're showing called Jackie and the Kingdom of Women, showing Charlotte Gainsbourg. It's about a place where the gender roles are swapped, you know, and women run everything, and men are kept barefoot and pregnant, you know. It's like, so it's you know, it's a fantasy film, but it's a kind of a French satire comedy, and we're really excited to be showing it. So
that sounds like a lot of
those
excitement.
are two good ones.
So that's SF Indie Fest starting February 5th. And you can go to the website, which is?
sfindie.com, S-F-I-N-D-I-E.
All right, everyone go out to see SF Indie Fest as soon as you can in February, because it's going to be a great festival. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hey, Mom. Yes, you. Why fuss and fret about dinner? Why not have it right here? Yes, this drive-in offers everyone in the family a real picnic treat for dinner. We've got delicious sandwiches with all the trimmings and your other dinner favorites, plus whatever you want to drink, hot or cold. Come early before the show starts, or eat while you're being entertained, or at intermission time. So why fuss? Give your family a tasty dinner at this drive-in.
Orinda Theatre Square. Think inside the square. Like us on Facebook for exclusive offers.
This is where I want to be, here with you, so close to me, till the final flicker of life's end.
Anyway, anywhere, anyhow, anything. Just ask me. Just ask me to. You want me to. You know you do.
Welcome back to Real, and our guest once again is a contributor to the show, Mr. Pete Crooks. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And today we're not talking about classic movies that are going on at the Orinda Theatre. We're talking about a book that you wrote, and it's coming out right now.
Yeah, January 13th is the release of my first book, so thanks for letting me.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been 4 years of work, and but it's a real...
And the name of the book?
The book is called The Setup, a true story of dirty cops, soccer moms, and reality TV.
Wow, that's
all of it mixed together.
Yeah.
The title seems like it's complicated.
It's a very complicated, layered story. As a reporter for Diablo Magazine, I do a lot of pop culture stories.
Right.
And in late 2010, I was invited to write about this new reality series that was about to start filming in the suburbs, the East Bay suburbs for Lifetime, about this group of private investigator soccer moms. And there was a retired Antioch police officer named Christopher Butler who had a private investigation office. And his whole pitch was that he hired soccer moms and that these moms have a sixth sense. They're great team players. They are great investigators. And nobody thinks that the lady in the minivan is really undercover investigating.
So it's like Charlie's Angels undercover.
Charlie's Angels of the suburbs. Exactly.
Charlie's.
That was the hook.
Do they look like Charlie's Angels?
They were very attractive, very pleasant women from here, and one was from Orinda, one was from Dublin and Walnut Creek, and their office was in Concord. And the hook, like you hear it and you go, like, that makes sense. It was working. They got coverage in the Contra Costa Times. They got coverage on the NBC affiliate and the ABC affiliate in San Francisco.
Wow.
And they were on the Today Show. People Magazine did a 4-page feature on them. And Dr. Phil did a whole hour on the PI moms. So it was a no-brainer.
But no one did any background to find out if they were real?
They did enough to find out that this Chris Butler had been a real police officer. But yeah, that was a big thing. Is it like, we don't check,
right?
You know, like, and by the time I got to it, wow, they've been on all these national and local TV shows. And Lifetime's going to film a reality show.
Yeah, but that's, you know, that when you talk about the internet and news and all that, you know, is it really news now? I mean, with all the instant internet, you know, here's what's going on here. No one does any fact checking. No one does a true journalism anymore.
Well, there are true journalists out there. I mean, but there's way too much fast and easy, and I'm guilty of it because I was taken for a 10-hour ride-along with these PI moms.
So you're actually on a ride with these
I'm on a ride-along. I'm embedded with the PI moms.
Do they have guns?
No, they, you know,
tasers.
Glock firearms
really? Wow.
was a product placement sponsor of this reality show. So the reality show was going to say, whenever the PI moms got their gun out, they were never to say, get your gun, get your firearm. It was always get your Glock, right? So get your Glock on. So Glock gave 10 free guns to these con
That's what we
artists.
need, are free guns out on the street.
So what they were doing, what they did to me, what they did to Dr. Phil, what they did to the Today Show, the Contra Costa Times, People Magazine, they were staging these cases. So that's why the PI moms would always get their man at the end.
So it was your typical reality show where everything is staged.
It's not reality.
Interestingly, the most credible people in the story were the producers for Lifetime who really wanted to make an actual show. They had producers finding cases for the PI moms to work, because what really was happening was it was easier to stage the cases, and they kind of thought, the head of the business, Chris Butler, thought, we'll just stage these cases and nobody's going to know. And when these real producers came on, it was the people that made the Bounty Hunter show, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and Steven Seagal. I mean, it was like for these reality show. I mean, I'm a classic film guy, by the way. I'm not a reality TV junkie at all. But for the purposes of Diablo Magazine, this seemed like a great pop culture story. These moms from our neighborhood are going to be on a national TV. Of course, we'll write about this. Oh, you want me to go on and ride along on one of your cases? Of course, I'll go along. That'll add a little bit of color. Well, what happened was, one of the people that was very involved in setting me up on this ride along eventually sent an email to Diablo Magazine and said, hey, that thing that you witnessed was a hoax. Don't publish this article. It was actually a very aggressive email. It was like, you got played for a dummy. You know, don't publish that article. And I thought, wow, a national reality show where they're faking cases to, you know, get publicity, that's a more interesting story than I thought. So I kept digging. I kept emailing this secret source that I had. And little did I know what was really going on, but this source comes back to me about a week later and says, look, there's much more sinister business going on here. My boss, Chris Butler, is selling drugs that are being stolen from the evidence locker of the Contra Costa County Narcotics Task Force. And his conspirator is Norm Welsh, the head of the top drug cop in Contra Costa County, is selling pounds of weed that somebody else got arrested for selling. And it all takes place right here in Contra Costa County. It is a really, really wild story. It's gotten quite a bit of national attention from 48 Hours and This American Life, but I've had, I wrote a big expose on this in the April 2011 issue of Diablo and a follow-up article in December of 2011. But the book, I've had a lot of time to really dig into why did this happen? And the why is that there was a reality TV show filming, and some people got to be on it, and some people didn't, and some people decided to blow the whistle when they didn't.
Well, Pete, thank you so much for being on the show, and we'll have you back again, obviously, to talk about movies and great things around the Bay Area that's happening. But everybody go get Pete's book.
Thank you so much. Thanks for doing this show.
Yeah.